Welcome back, my friends. Another episode of the Suited Kings podcast. Today, I am joined by my fellow MSPT champion, Mr. Wesley Cannon. Wesley, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, Max. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Just got back from the family chiropractor, had an adjustment done. I can finally move again. It's pretty wonderful. Um, as you had heard me just mentioned, you did a thing this weekend.
I did do a thing this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be the topic of the episode.
You're really good at, gloating, so I'll just let you take it from here.
Get into it.
Yeah.
All
You know
right.
what? Actually, no, I'm not going to let you glow yet.
Okay.
Let me pause you for a second. I got to tell the people something that's been on my mind. It's nothing serious, nothing crazy, but a few months ago, I completely uploaded the entire backlog of Suited Kings episodes to our YouTube channel. So you can listen to all of them on YouTube now, everything from the very first to the current episode. I think this is episode 126, so that's a lot of episodes. There's also a handful of video episodes, including our last strategy episode where I uploaded the video. And it seems like people like the video versions. However, we haven't really driven a lot of traffic to it because we haven't really promoted it a lot. So I would like to ask our listeners, if you enjoy video versions, go check out our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. That would mean a lot to us. I would like to kind of see that channel grow a little bit, as we don't really push that out too much. And literally like 95+% of our listeners are through Spotify, Apple, and through our websites. So I want to direct a little more traffic that way. Make sure to check out our YouTube channel. You can find a link in the description where you're listening to this. Hit that subscribe button. That means a lot. Let's just kind of get that thing growing. And then if that thing grows more, I'm more incentivized to release more video episodes, which I know personally I'm a visual learner. So it just helps in terms of, especially when we do the strategy-based episodes. So go check out our YouTube channel. We'll have more plugs at the end. Also, if you want to buy some real estate, holler at your boy.
There you go.
All right. It's been crazy, man. I've been absolutely slammed. Spring market is blowing up right now, but this is not a real estate podcast. Wes, it's your time.
All right. And is this one on video?
This one, I don't know. We'll see. All right.
You have the recording. Yeah.
Oh, I have the video of every single episode we've ever done.
Okay.
By the way, if there's a video editor out there who wants to join the team but doesn't want
get paid very much.
Yeah, I mean, we'll cut you in, but we're not.
If anyone's looking for an unpaid internship, and then we'll write a really, really good recommendation.
Yeah, you will be you'll be the third member of the Suited Kings podcast team, though. We would love to talk with video editors, and there might be some monetary compensation in there. We just kind of have to discuss that with that person.
Certainly not guaranteed. Yeah,
a video editor would be awesome. Get in touch with us, and we'll discuss it from there. So, Wesley,
let's take it away.
Take it away.
All right. So this weekend I played the MSPT at Riverside, Iowa. I drove down there on Friday, got in there on day 1B.
Did you go by yourself?
I did go by myself.
Okay.
On day 1B, we won't talk about that much. I got some good things, some bad things. Ultimately lost the flip. I was out.
How many entries did you launch?
Just one.
Okay.
And so this is actually funny. I was telling our friend Ben, so this was my 10th time in Riverside, and I'm someone who remembers all the stats and whatnot. So
I was gonna say I have no idea how many times I've been to Riverside, but it's probably my most traveled to destination for MSPTs.
Yeah, it makes sense. My first time there, I fired one bullet and I got third. In the next 8 times there, I had 4 caches, but none of them turned a profit because I had fired more bullets. Like, they were all under 3K caches. And all of those 8 times after my first day there, I busted 2 bullets. And so after Friday, instead of max late regging, I was like, I told Ben, like, well, if I go into tomorrow and I'm only in for 1, that means, like, that's a W, because that means it's my second best first day at Riverside, and obviously, like, kind of kidding, but kind of not. Like, there is something, I think, for a lot of us, once you hit a certain threshold, the bullets can feel a little bit painful to fire.
Yeah.
And when you're just on your second, it's like, no, that's fine.
I mean,
But
let's be real. $1,100, $1,110 is I mean, it's
it's a
funny
good
because
chunk.
it is a good chunk of money. I mean, it's a big chunk of money, and it's funny how these tournaments kind of desensitize the value of it and just like can kind of fire away. But like in reality, $1,100 is, a large portion of a mortgage payment or a full entire rent payment. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of money, but and also one thing I want to touch on is the prestige of an MSPT. It's like an MSPT is something I wanted to win for so long, like for like 15 years now, or almost maybe like 14 years, 13 years, something like that. Um, I've been playing them for that long, I should say. But it's I don't really. This is kind of a tangent, but I guess my point is that like a lot of the listeners here, everybody has that dream to tackle an MSPT win, and yeah, you just got to stick with it. And this story you're telling is kind of like a statement to that.
For sure. Um, and anyways, yeah. So going into Saturday, and first up, I had some scores at the end of last year for sure, but to start this year, I was probably down 20K in live tournaments. So it's not like I was
Oh, really?
it, right. Like I don't know that. I think to the outside world, it can kind of feel like, oh, I'm riding high off these big scores, and it's like, certainly they were great, but it the feeling of the wins goes away somewhat quickly, and then when you've been racking up some bust outs, it can still get frustrating again. And anyways, going into Saturday, I was like, all right, new day. Um, and got a really good sleep the night before. Took a nice walk that day, and then got in at level 2, I think. Um,
That's kind of your MO. You just kind of get that walk. You're a walker by yourself. Just get
yeah,
some.
yeah, I love long walks.
Yeah,
Just clear the head,
yeah.
get a minor exercise that I'm never gonna be like tired after.
It's important to do. Get the blood flowing too, because you're gonna be sitting all day.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
and actually, like a former guest said, sunlight is a nutrient.
Yeah.
So
Was that Zach?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it was.
Hey, by
Shout
the
out to
way,
him, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah,
by the way, the
he won a
podcast Run
circuit main,
Good.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's like almost every guest we've had that plays on a regular level has had a major win after going on the podcast. Josh Reichard won the WPT. Zach just won the WSOP circuit main for $250,000. Lucky Chewy won a PGT title, and I mean, there's more and more and more on top of that. Chance won something. I can't remember. Chance won like 3 things, but
Yeah,
just like it seems like there's this podcast Run Good, so uh, that continues.
yeah, it does for sure. I mean, and, I'm on the podcast every week, so I did.
Shout out also to Mike Wilklow, just unstoppable. Just another final
Yeah,
table appearance by him.
yeah. We'll get to. Actually, I don't really have hands with him to talk about, but yeah, Mike, who's been a guest and who is a listener and member in the Discord and a friend, like he was at the final table too,
He final
and
tables everything. So
yeah, he has been. So all right, so the final day one Saturday, I get in. I actually within the first orbit, I opened like 4 hands in a row. I only end up winning one, but like I don't think I put another chip into the ones I missed. So
standard
so but
opens.
yeah, well one of them was like 6-4 suited and early position, so it's like
I mean,
technically
you're
not,
hella
but
deep though, right?
we're deep and it's a live tournament, so I'm like this counts, right?
Oh God, here we
I wouldn't
go.
be doing this on ACR. Um And the people are just flatting too. And one thing I've noticed is the guy to my direct left has flatted all 4 of them.
I have an argument against this, but we're gonna leave that out of this at this point. This is
No, I'm curious. I'm curious.
okay. Well, my point is that as you mentioned, there's a lot of people flatting, so you're gonna be playing out of position multi-way with 6-4 suited. So a lot of times you're just gonna be torching 2 big blinds pre-flop. But on top of that, it's like these people are so sticky, so you don't really have a lot of opportunity to bluff with this hand, even semi bluff. So I think, as we'd mentioned on a prior episode, I think we want to be kind of just tightening our range here and then just going for more max value, especially against this field size or this field.
That's actually a good point. Um, so
I
I'm of
don't
two
blame you
minds there.
though. You're firing.
Yeah, well, and I definitely agree about hands that don't play well multi-way, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But I think, like, if we wanna open our range up a little bit, like, there's things working in both directions, like, when I obviously have a lot less fold equity than usual here, so
Mhm.
that means I should tighten up the range, but I also think I'm gonna get 3-bet way less than usual.
And there's another positive to it as well as you are more so than others going to know where you're at in the hand a lot. So I mean, you're not going to be losing piles of chips with one pair or maybe even two pair for that point, but you'll know how to extract the maximum when you start making straights and flushes. So
And yeah, that's my thought too. Like, I'm not gonna open my range up in the sense of starting to open ace-8 offsuit
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
But I think if we wanna add a couple pips to the suited gap type stuff, I think that's alright. But I think your point is good too. Anyways, then this guy so the last hand I opened from under the gun, the guy on my left ends up losing a big pot and doubling up the guy in the big blind in a spot where I think he really should have gotten away from it. It was clear he didn't really want to fold. Um,
Okay.
anyways, then so we're at 200, 400 blinds, level 3, and I'm in the big blind the next hand, and he opens under the gun to 1600,
Okay.
and then
You said you're in the big blind?
Yep,
Okay.
and then Robbie Waz calls in maybe the hijack, and then
Okay.
I'm in the big blind with 2 queens. Uh, perfect spot. Bump it up to 7K, and they both call. And then, I mean, this is how to win tournaments, guys. We see the queen in the window.
Okay.
It comes queen 4-3, 2 spades,
Okay.
and I bet 4,500 into a pot of what's like 21 or 22K.
Yeah.
Under the gun calls. Robbie folds,
Okay.
and then so this guy under the gun now has like 12, maybe 13K behind.
Okay, so he's already got less than one SPR, and he's tilting. So we get it. Please tell me it's like the 8 of clubs, and you just check to him.
It's the king of clubs, and I
Okay.
check to him.
Okay, I mean
Yeah.
the reason we kind of know how this works is because like the SPR is such where we don't have to bet 2 more streets to make sure it gets in. So it's like now let's give him the opportunity to think where we can bluff at it.
Exactly. And so he makes kind of an illogical one, but he's gathering his chips, and at this point I'm like, I just need to make sure I don't put the chips in before he puts them in. But
Hopefully
yeah,
he's got a suited king here, like a king 8 of spades or something.
he went all in. I called, and he had 2 red nines.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's just, it's funny because it's like such a great spot for him to just check back and try and get the showdown.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We won't dive too deep into that hand, but that was really the only big hand I played early,
Mm-hmm.
like until maybe, well over 2 hours later. I was kind of hovering between, so starting stack is 30K. I was hovering between 50 and 70 for about 3 hours.
Can I ask you a question quickly?
Mm-hmm.
With the red nines, I know that we both know the answer to this, but what do you think he's doing? Is he value betting or bluffing? Or is the answer he doesn't know?
He wanted me to fold, right? So I guess
Yeah.
bluffing, but
Yeah.
it's like if I fold, I guess tens and jacks he could fold out potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
not
mean,
though, even with
not,
draws on the board, like for that
yeah.
price.
And it's just really not. It's very ambitious. So it's like I think it's important. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on this guy. I have no idea who it is, to be honest with you. But my point is that just think about what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Of course, yeah. That is a good point. All right. So the next interesting hand that I have written down here, we had another hand where we kind of flopped a set, and this guy just went all in for 2x pot. But then we lost a couple more.
Wait, you flopped a set and you
So yeah, it was, I opened nines. Pocket nines were good to me this tournament.
Clearly.
This guy 3-bet, and I don't remember what the blinds were, Um, I want to say they were 1500. Yeah, I made it 3K. He made it 85. I called. It was ace nine low card, two
Oh, we
diamonds.
love those run. Oh yeah, you said he three bet. Did I hear that right?
Yeah. He
Okay,
was
so
an older gentleman.
okay,
Um,
even more
I
range towards an ace then.
Yeah, right. Well, then I check, and so I have maybe 40. I have between 40 and 50K behind here,
Mhm.
and I have my headphones in. Um, I check, and I'm 99% sure he says all in, and I'm like,
You took
I
him
don't
off.
react yet because I wait for the dealer to grab the all in button, and then I'm like, okay, call
Yeah,
and
yeah,
show
yeah.
my
Because you don't
nines. And
want. Yeah. What do you have? Ace queen.
he had exactly ace queen of hearts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just it's just like, come on, man. You're not gonna
yeah,
get. It's not even a wet board.
yeah. But other than that, and then I lost a couple hands after that. So we were at level 10. We were at big blind is 2K, and I came into that level somewhere in the 70 to 80K range of chips. So nothing crazy so far. Now the biggest hand that people may have seen in the write up is a hand where under the gun opens to 4,500 at this level. That same older guy, he flats in what would be the low jack, and I'm on the button with 6-5 of hearts.
This is 2K.
And yep,
Okay.
and 6-5 of hearts button. I'm gonna flat this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This is great. You're in position. Not too worried about it. You get someone three bets. You obviously fold from the blinds, but
yeah. And the big blind comes along, so we are playing four-handed to a flop here.
and I'm assuming there's a ton of implied equity if you make a hand. You're pretty deep. Everybody's pretty deep.
Kind of the big blind and under the gun cover me, and then the older gentleman has maybe 26 bigs to start,
All right. Let's
or
play.
maybe
Let's play guess
yeah,
that flop. I'm gonna say it's. You see, I had 6-5 of spades
of hearts.
of hearts. Six. I want to say it's ace seven deuce two spade or of heart two hearts. Or ace seven
No,
three two hearts.
no, there was a deuce, but it was just 6-6 deuce rainbow.
Oh, even better. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Now we just hope he has aces or any overpair.
yep. So it goes check, under the gun checks. The older guy, keep in mind the pot right now is
Let's not offend anybody. Call him a gray haired gentleman.
okay. The gray haired gentleman.
That likes coffee.
Okay, I see that. He bets 23K into a pot of about 20K,
Lord.
and he has that's like almost half of his stack right there. So
You know what's so funny is like flatting it is just as strong as raising.
that's what I actually tanked a long time, and I wasn't like trying to
Yeah.
trick. I was genuinely thinking like, is there any way
It's
to make
always
this
flat. It's always
Yeah.
flat, but taking your time and then flatting is the only way you can just somewhat make it look a little bit weaker. But it's always like such a nutted call here.
Yeah. So I flat. The big blind actually rips it now.
It's 6-6 deuce.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's actually kind of
Um,
shitty.
it sort of is, right? I mean,
He has all the better
now,
sixes.
he does. And now keep in mind the 23K is almost a third of my stack. So I'm not doing any folding here.
Did you say there was a flush draw?
There's not. I mean,
Oh
like
my god.
it is kind of like icky.
I mean, you just praying he's just overplaying like pocket nines or something silly, right?
That is one thing, and then under the gun folds, and then
I have not seen this write up, by the way, so I'm not sure.
okay, and then the gentleman who likes coffee puts the rest of his stack in.
With gray hair, yeah.
And then
I might fold here. It's crazy. Even though you have 23K and it's just like you can't though, right? Like
I didn't think about it because also there's, even if the guy has a 6, there's a lot of runouts where especially if he has something like 8-6, right? All it would take is 2 cards over an 8 for us to chop.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And if we chop, there's bunch of more
Dead
money in
money,
there
yeah.
too. So it's
Mhm.
like I didn't consider folding, which is good because he had 6-3 of diamonds.
I mean, you're
Now
still gonna chop a lot with that.
we're still gonna chop like unless one of us hits our 3 or 5, I would need one of the remaining cards to literally be a 4,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And then the other gentleman has pocket aces. He
Okay.
flatted 3 with aces.
The gentleman with gray hair that likes coffee.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just praying no ace, no 3, right? I'm assuming we're chopping this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Turn king, river 4.
Oh! The 4 on the river. Did he oh.
That's
Yeah.
actually pretty disgusting. Like I was thinking about it after. I'm like, oh man, that was the pot was,
That's like the perfect run out for you to win the pot.
yeah. Like I needed a 4 or a 5, and like the pot was about 210K. So that was a 105K bad beat for him,
Yeah, and you
over
have a
50
pile
bigs at that
now.
point. Yeah. Oh yeah. I just went from kind of cruising along waiting for a spot to over 100 bigs and, presumably one of the chip leaders at the time. And it didn't really stop. Like I just found these spots I felt like so that guy who had the 6-3 busted out pretty soon after. There were a couple more people that came in. I felt like my table was very good. Like so Robbie Wazwaz had moved tables.
Yeah. Getting him off the
And
table is always a good thing.
yeah, and I had a pretty there were some pretty passive players.
Okay.
Like I opened queen 5 suited from I think low jack.
Okay.
We just took it down on flop, like stuff like that where I'm playing a little bit loose.
You're
And also I
adjusting
have
to
a good
the table dynamics.
yeah. I don't remember like there were some more like I had small bluffs, right? Like I didn't run some massive 3 barrel or anything, but I was just picking off little pots here and there. But just for a couple more examples of how I ran on day 1, we'll
You got
get
to
into
run good
these.
to win tournaments.
You got
That's
to
a
run
part of it.
good. So there was one at the next level, 2,500 big blind, where I opened a 5K. Guy on my left calls, big blind calls. Pot is 19K. We get Jack 10, 7, 2 diamonds. I have the ace of diamonds, offsuit Jack. Big blind goes all in for 46K.
Hmm.
And then guy on my left has roughly that amount too. So we're not worried that if we call, we're going to get ripped on for like 200.
Mm-hmm.
I end up making the call. Other guy folds. We're up against king, queen.
Okay.
And
Just
it just
open-ended
comes
2 overs.
yep. So any
Okay.
ace, king, queen, or 9 will do it. But it's like a 5-7 run out.
The
Just fold big.
banana. Yeah.
Double banana.
The double banana.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this one was great. So we had pocket 5s, open, same guy on my left flats, and he only has like 10 or 12 bigs at this point. Big blind comes along too, who's also short. We get 9-5 deuce, flop middle set.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both pretty short. So I check too. I figure let's try and induce, try and let them catch up a bit. Guy on my left checks. We get king on the turn. There's no flush right now. Checks to me. I bet like half pot. Guy on my left goes all in. Big blind reshoves.
Oh my
I
God.
snap off, and they
When you
both
make
have king, queen.
Oh my God. It's so nice when you make these these hands where you have just entirely just most of the equity in the hand, and then people are still willing to put chips in the pot. It's hard to come by those, and when they happen frequently, it helps a lot. We love
It
that.
does. Here's actually one kind of interesting spot. And it's also interesting because we're up against a very good player, actually former guest of the podcast. So tables get shuffled around a bit. We're in the same spot, but we get like a few new players.
This is still day 1C, correct?
Yep, this is day 1. This is towards the end of it. 2 spots against the same player, actually. We'll go through the first one kind of quick.
All right. Challenge me if you can find a way to do that. I want to get my brain thinking here a little bit.
All right. So we got Angela Jordison on our right.
Okay.
the big blind is 5K. We have, at this point, 370 to 440K, somewhere in that
Piles,
range.
absolute piles.
Yep. Um, she opens to 10K under the gun. She has something like, we'll say 140K.
So 30-ish bigs.
Yep. We have ace queen offsuit directly to her left.
Oh, okay. See, this is a little interesting. She's under the gun. You're under the gun one. Is that right?
Mhm.
Uh Man, okay. See, these are spots I come across these spots and I'm just like I hate it. The reason I hate it is because I truly don't know what I think the correct play is. It's like I feel like if we three bet, we're obviously just folding to any four bet jam from her. But
Mhm.
I think for that reason I just like flatting in this spot and just kind of assessing the action from that point.
Yeah, that's fair. My thought is like we're late enough on day one where I'm
Mhm.
gonna go for a smaller three bet size, and then I'm comfortable folding to a jam.
Mhm.
Like because of our positions, I also don't think she's gonna
Do it
find.
light.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that as well. Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
hoping.
you'll
You
find out
know.
where she's at.
Yeah, right. Um. So yeah, so we three bet to 25K, so
Okay.
to five big blinds.
Okay.
She calls.
Mhm. I like
Um.
this though, and I think what's important to note is we can three bet small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then just plan to fold to any sort of like four bet from her here. And that way we lose the minimum. But I mean, our hand strength isn't changed by the size of our three bet.
Exactly. And yeah, in these ICM spots, you can just go smaller because there is additional pressure of the situation.
Right.
So
Because
it's
you're
like,
essentially challenging her bagging, ability here by three betting her as well. Because we're essentially approaching the bubble.
yep. Um, okay, so we get the flop of ace 7-3 with two clubs.
What did you say you had? I already forgot.
We have ace queen. We have the ace of clubs.
Oh,
It's
ace
ace,
queen. Yeah.
yeah, ace of spades, 7-3 of clubs, and she checks. I bet, like quarter pot, 22 maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you ever just check back here in this spot? Curious. I know, like we're three betting an
yeah.
early position, just to like, if we do, because this is kind of like a get two streets type hand already. Unless more than likely, I would say. And by under repping the first street, maybe we
I,
can get delayed. Because what was the full board? Ace.
ace 7-3. I don't know. I mean, I think there's a world where it's full stack because we
I mean, there
almost.
is for sure. It's just less likely, I think, compared to the range of hands she could have, like all the pocket pairs and stuff. Like she can have ace 10 suited, ace jack suited, maybe ace 8 suited, all that kind of stuff. But like, I feel like a lot of the range is middling pairs and et cetera, right? Obviously, she doesn't have ace king. So like, I feel we feel like we have the nuts here.
I guess that's kind of the point where it's like I. It, obviously, they're different sort of boards. Like I don't know that we're.
You missed the
I think we're.
opportunity to get it all in by checking, I guess, as well. So maybe just betting, and you're
Yeah,
supposed to
I
also
think
kind of range bet this spot too. So yeah, okay. The more let it sizzle a little bit here. I think I'm following with that.
because then we also allow her to potentially just check jam a flush draw or something.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I think I sometimes try to get a little too creative in spots
That's
like
fair.
this. Yeah, and
Um,
it costs value essentially.
it definitely can do that sometimes. Maybe I did it on the turn though. So I bet small here. It may have been like 20K actually. She calls
Did you say you had the queen of club or you had a club?
the ace of
Ace
clubs.
of clubs. Oh, okay,
Turn is a jack,
okay.
a red jack.
Well, right. This card sucks because the hands you
Yeah,
want to stack, this makes two pair of against, or this
yeah.
kind.
This is if she can have ace jack offsuit, especially, which
Hmm.
I'm not 100% sure on.
Yeah, still feel
But
good about our hand. I'm just saying, like it's one of the hands we want to try and get three streets from.
yeah. So but that was kind of my instinct in the moment. So she checked. I actually checked back because now I'm like, we could induce a bluff from clubs on the river.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. You're a little under repped at this. You're kind of under repping the strength of your hand.
Yeah. And I sort of changed my mind. Like, do I think an ace nine suited if it's in here, is going to give me 3 streets. I don't know. So I can see I would imagine theory-wise we wanna bet, but, like,
With the
it's
positions,
live
probably
poker.
not.
Yeah.
And it's Angela
Um,
as well. She's a great player.
yeah. River's another offsuit jack.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
yeah, it's good. The only downside is, like, king jack of clubs, queen jack of clubs, jack 10 of clubs, I'll get
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But she snap checks river, and I think at this stack depth, because the SPR is kinda like 1
I'm
barely
surprised she
over 1
snap
right now.
checked instead of just kind of giving it a little second and then checking. Not maybe too much to dig into, but the snap check always means okay, we're going for it. Just makes your going for value much easier here.
It does, yeah. Like, she had I'm pretty much thinking my hand is super strong now,
Yeah.
and I don't go for all in, I go for something like 58K,
Mm-hmm.
which maybe is too cute. Anyways, it doesn't like, she snaps off and we both have ace queen, so it doesn't really matter, but
Sorry, my headset cut out. You said she had what?
ace queen as well.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, end of the day, it wouldn't have really changed anything,
No,
but,
can't believe you just
um,
wasted all my time with that hand.
you
I'm
know,
just
it's
kidding.
we're still thinking about it, we're still thinking about
No,
it.
there's good information there. I like it.
Um, this next one, I don't it was the same level. I don't know if it was, like, 2 hands later, or I guess it would have been 3 hands later, or, like, an orbit later, but she was on button for this one, and I was in small blind, and she had a similar stack, something like 130 to start, maybe 140. So she opens, and I have ace 10 off in the small blind. So she has, we'll say, between 25 to 30 bigs. Um, and I think at this point, the player in the big blind, I wish I should remember this, but at some point in the big blinds, um, Clint, who's a friend of mine who bagged the overall chip lead, he sat in that seat. So at
Okay.
some point, there's the player on my left with just even more chips than me. I think that was this point, because I didn't even consider just ripping this,
Okay.
because that would have crossed my mind otherwise, I think. But um, anyways, so yeah, what is your thought here? Ace 10 offsuit, small blind versus button.
And remind me their stack one more time. You got me caught up on thinking about if Clint was there or not.
Angela's got between 25 and 30 bigs.
And you're okay. That's right. And then button versus small blind. And your small blind, you have ace
Mhm.
10 suited offsuit. Sorry,
Offsuit.
man. Here I go again. I didn't get much sleep last night, Wesley. uh I mean, this to me seems like, well, she made it two bigs.
Mhm.
I don't mind both options. Thinking about it, I don't mind flat. I think I mean, this spot seems easier to me. Like I mean, you're definitely ahead of a lot of her opening range. There's no doubt about that
Mhm.
on the button. I wouldn't mind three betting to like say, and we don't have to go too large here, but because we're out of position, I'd make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I would say probably like at this point, it maybe still like six or seven bigs.
Yeah. I went 6.6 bigs. I made it 33K.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's exactly what I did. Big blind folds and Angela calls, so the pot is
Do you think
76K.
do you think flatting's a mistake? I just know you're so ahead
I
of her range, right? But
Yeah, I kinda do, partially because, especially stage of the tournament.
yeah, you want to apply that pressure as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely with that. I mean, with that included, I mean, I feel like now it makes it a slam dunk. So
Yeah, I think when we flat, we're gonna end up folding the best hand post flop a decent amount of the time.
I think that's a good point.
So, um, we get a great flop. It's a
She
theme of
called.
this
Okay.
tournament. She calls, yep. Flop is 10-8-6 rainbow.
Okay.
And so at this point, she is maybe 20 bigs
Well, this is
behind.
nice too because she can have like the Jack Nine suited and things like that that have a lot of draws where you can just kind of stack her with.
Yep.
Hopefully, if you
So,
hold.
right. All right. So what do we think on this flop with this
What was
action?
this 70 something K?
Pot is 76K. We'll say she is about 100 behind.
My thought is what's my player's tendency if I bet big versus bet small here? Angela's an aggressive player. I would like
Mhm.
to see something like 18 to 22K and hope she just sends it over the top.
Okay. What's another option for an aggressive player?
Check.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think both are fine. Maybe even smaller. Like I guess like 15 to 18K would be better, but I don't know exactly.
So actually what I thought is either checking this or just ripping it. Because if I
Then
had
just
something
yeah.
like if I had queen jack, you know, something like that. If I had, let's just say I had a gutter somehow, like king
Yeah.
nine suited or whatever.
Yeah. Just really apply that pressure to her, and if you call, you still have some equity to win.
Yeah, I think if I jam here, there's a chance she'll just any of her decent hands, she's just gonna call off with because it feels, you know.
I'm assuming this check paid in dividends.
So she ended up betting. Yeah, she bet 26K,
Okay. Um,
and
at this point, so she's got. You said she had 100 something behind, just barely over 100.
yeah,
I just don't. There's a lot of turn cards where we're like, fuck, you know what I mean? So I think just launching it here seems. I mean, launching it in the good term of launching.
yes, yeah. I mean, clearly my hand, like we expect that any overpair would have just gotten it in pre,
Right.
and
We have the
by the
best hand. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, almost always. And I agree. Like we don't want to see a queen, jack, king, nine, seven, even really an eight. So it's like
Yeah.
I put it all in, and she kind of is like, oh, I should have checked, and she
Yeah.
ended
Yeah.
up folding.
Yeah. I know that feeling in Herb's shoes. I've definitely been there. So, okay. No idea what she had, I'm assuming.
No idea what she had. Would be
She could
curious.
have like
But
queen jack, two overs and a gut or something like that, where she wanted to
yeah, it
realize
could be like
equity.
king nine suited, could
Yeah.
be pocket fives. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Nice hand. I think that was
Thank you.
good. But yeah, I like the check probably worked out even better.
Hopefully, yeah, yeah. Who knows at this point? Um, but I sort of like the idea of let's try and get the money in on the flop one way or
Hmm.
another, sort of.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then I don't remember too many more interesting ones, but the very last hand of the night, I had a little under 500K. I'd peaked at like maybe 550, lost a couple small ones. I have piles, so I'm opening wide. I opened 10-7 suited in like under the gun plus two.
Just applying bubble pressure because this is literally the stone bubble.
Yeah, and different too early in the tournament. This is a time in the tournament where people are gonna fold a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Um, but this time the button calls and small blind, uh, 3 bets to 33K. My open was the 12K at the
Okay.
600 level, 6K level.
How much does small
So this
blind have behind?
he had like 300. He had over
Oh.
300.
So okay. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. So
I would have. I
we,
would have. I would have binned it, but that's okay.
I mean, he made it 5.5 bigs. We're in position. We're suited, like
We got someone behind you, right?
on the button. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a nit. It's
Um,
okay.
oh, I mean, this is a to be fair, like at this point, I'm like,
I just think
this
his range
could
should
get
be
ugly.
strong, right?
So this is how do you say
I mean,
Kanat Ozturk,
okay, it's Umit's brother.
Umit's brother. He and I have played a few pots. Like he's
Okay.
definitely not a tight player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I mean, the opponent type does matter. Okay, okay. Yeah, that definitely would. I would think about that, who the player is for sure. So, okay. So you flat button comes along as well, big pot.
Yep. So we get the Queen Jack 9
It's like a
board.
hundred and something K in the pot, 110K,
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly. Queen Jack 9, two hearts. So we flop
Oh, open
open
ender and
ended.
flush.
No, we just have diamonds, so
Oh, yeah,
it's not
diamonds.
just
Okay.
open ended.
Yep. This is a board where it really interacts with both of their ranges.
Yeah, it's sort of nerve wracking, right? I mean, I'm not gonna go broke here, obviously,
I
but
know.
it's like, anyways, he c bets 30K. I call, and my plan is like if the turn is just
Yeah.
a brick, I'm just gonna fold
Fold. Yeah.
unless he bets.
I'm never raising
Super
this.
tiny.
I'm never raising this because, like, with how, as I said, with how interconnected or connected it is with their ranges, like, you're not going to get them to fold much here. So there's no need to raise. Just kind of try and realize, call and realize equity.
Yeah, I don't think he's the type to just start folding an overpair here.
Imagine if you raised and somehow got this in. That would just be that would be a
That would
launch.
be a spew by
Yeah, yeah,
me. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But like, we're getting 4.5 to 1 on the flop. We got to try and hit an open
I mean,
ender.
if you're seeing the flop, you're calling that flop for sure.
Hmm.
Did the button come
We
along?
call hmm?
Button come
Button
along?
folds.
Okay.
Turn is the offsuit 8. So I
Oh,
mean, we hit it.
it's funny. You know, what my thought here is it's like, I mean, if he has sets, he's probably not going to fold. Maybe two pairs, he's not going to fold. One, this, if he say he's got something like, it was nine, jack, queen, right? Eight.
Yep.
Say he has like ace, queen, like he can just get away from this hand now on a board like this.
Hmm.
So that kind of sucks. I guess my thought on that is like if we do smash our straight, it's harder to get value.
Yeah, it can be kind
But
of
he can
hard.
also have jacks, queens, hands that just still aren't going to fold. So
He has a peculiar range, in my opinion. Like I don't
okay,
necessarily.
it's a nice way of putting it.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I he may bluff. He may continue to sort of block bet
Yeah.
with
Okay.
something. So like
What was
he
the
he
action?
bets he bets 40K into what is now like 170.
This should be like a check with most of his range, I'd say, right?
I would agree, right? Um, and I don't, I think you're right in the sense that if I raise now, I think it kind of turns my hand face up.
Yep. Yeah.
So we just call. The river does bring in the flush. It's the deuce of hearts. Not that I'm putting him on a flush draw, but it's a possibility, but also like it's
Yeah.
another thing for him to be
Yeah.
worried about.
If he is double barreling a hand, it's typically, it might be one of those kind of flush draws hands. But anyways, on
It
this
could be
board,
for
I
sure.
mean,
Anyways, river he bets 60 or 65K. I
it's
just
just so.
snap it.
You know what's interesting about this? Before you tell me what he has here, it's just like there's a four straight, a three flush, and the hands he's representing are kind of like sets and over
Mhm.
pairs at some point. So it's like these are all hands that should be checking either turn or definitely river. So like at this point, he's saying he has a straight or a flush by betting three streets. So it's like or a bluff, right? Or am I wrong
Maybe
in that thought?
he's kind of betting quarter pot here, which I don't know if he was like thinking about pot size, but I think it's like he I think this is still a sizing that even if, I don't think he's out there like studying solvers, but
Like a thin value bet?
I do think it reads as a thin value bet or at least a milky value bet, right? Like I don't necessarily know if it's milky. Like milky could mean he has a stronger hand than I think,
Yeah.
but that he recognizes that I'm gonna
It
fold a lot
it,
of stuff.
it just feels like you're gonna value own yourself a lot in those spots if you are value betting something like queens, jacks, and then definitely aces and kings.
I agree. Yeah, one pair. I think any one pair is just for sure way too thin
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
point. Um,
But
anyway,
if he has queens or jacks, he heavily blocks all the two pair combos as well. So then it makes it even less likely you have something that he's gonna get value from.
yeah. Anyways, he had queen jack offsuit. He flopped top two pair.
Okay.
Um, and
He value owned
so
himself as a
yeah, but I mean, even if it's not a hand I'd three bet that way pre-flop, I think post-flop, his line makes a lot of sense in some way where like he is sort of correctly valuing his hand with his bet sizing, if that makes sense.
with his sizing, but on the texture, it doesn't make sense in my opinion.
That's fair. I mean, he might think it might be more that he's just sort of setting his own price, but I think he also knows like if I have here's the thing, if I have like 9-8 suited, if I have queen 9 suited, jack 9 suited,
Which you block,
granted
which
maybe
he blocks, and the board blocks.
for sure, but like there is a world where he gets thin value here.
Okay.
Like if I were to have had two pair, I would have called down with this price.
Okay.
So, anyways, I that was the end of my day one sun run. We bagged
Okay.
up 686K.
That's a
Um,
massive stack. And you go back
it
to 5K big blind.
Yeah, the
Huh.
first day one ended
Dude,
on
just
five,
sleep just like a king. Just like a suited king.
just like a suited king. I felt pretty relaxed. Like I was, you and I both have been on a lot of day twos in general, and it's
Yeah.
like one thing you learn is you never want to come in too high or too low because sometimes the big runs happen when you're short, and sometimes when you have a big stack, things just
My
go
best
sideways.
runs typically are when I bag 20 to 30 something bigs
Yeah,
from my
and
experience. Not in
yeah,
yours, clearly.
I mean, I don't know. I've had some with all sorts of stacks, right?
Yeah.
And obviously there's correlation, but it's probably less than people would think. And so, anyways, coming into day two, I was playing, a little wider. There was a hand where I flatted a raise with 8-5 suited on the button, flopped an open ender,
I
called a
remember you
bet.
texting me. You're like, it's so good being this deep in day two. I can just flat 8-5 suited on the button.
All right,
Sorry for that. Yeah, I got a little phone call there. It's
that's
busy
okay.
season, brother. All right, back to it.
Busy season, newborn dad season too. I mean,
Yeah.
your
Yes,
attention always has to be partially on that. So,
for sure.
um, yeah. So there's a hand. I ended up bluffing someone successfully when I flatted the 8-5 suited. One of the most interesting spots here on day two was still at 5K big blind. Mike Wilklow opens the 10K in early position. Phil Mater,
Mm-hmm.
Farmer Phil, if you know
Yep.
him, I
Yep.
think a lot of people do. He
Made a
3-bet
deep run in the MSPT main or the
World
WSOP
Series
main.
main.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
yeah, that's how I first knew who he was.
Yep.
He makes it 35K. Mike's pretty short, but Phil has like 300K. And I have at this point I'm at like 750.
Mm-hmm.
I've won a couple small pots.
Mm-hmm. By the
I'm
way,
in the
shout out to
small.
Phil. I know he's a listener. Shout out, Phil. Continue.
Is
You're in
he?
the small
Oh,
blind.
that's
Yep.
awesome. Yeah, I chatted with him a little bit here and there, or just like little banter back
Yep.
and forth.
Yep.
He seems like a really good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Phil if you're listening. But and curious what he had in this hand, but I looked down at two queens in the small blind.
Okay.
So Mike opened early position. Phil 3-bet off of 60 big blinds from like low jack or something, maybe hijack. Anyways, this is kind of gross. Like queens in the small blind here. Because I don't want to get in. I don't want to get all in against him.
Okay.
But I'm also like, he sort of 3-bet to half of Mike's stack where he's like committing against Mike. And I'm like, why? I don't just want to rip and let him play close to perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I end up clicking it to 73K.
Okay.
It folds back to Phil.
These are creative spots. I like this. This is stuff that kind of is that a lot of spots people don't normally find.
Yeah, there was even part of me that thought about just flatting it.
Okay.
The one tricky part there is like, what if Mike goes all in and then Phil
Then you
just
call off.
redams?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It feels gross. I like that you're taking kind of the betting lead here.
I do too. And, we sort of don't recommend this, but a little bit of it is I think I can find out where I'm at.
That's so funny. Holy shit. Okay.
And Phil ends up going all in.
Okay. That sucks.
It sucks. And my plan was to 4-bet fold the queens here.
He had how much?
He had like 300K at 5K.
Yeah, I mean that is an absolute monster stack at that stage, especially when a lot of that field is soft and you can just find so many good spots without having to get it all in. It's like I have no idea what he had here, but it's like, is he overvaluing jacks? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Tens definitely should not be jamming here. So, but you will see this kind of stuff, and then you're just kind of like ace queen. I think is also not going to jam here, even the suited variety. So like, I feel like it's either he's kind of overvaluing jacks. You're flipping against ace king, or you're dominated by kings or aces.
Yeah. And my thought was like, even if he had jacks or ace king, I think there's a decent chance he just calls here.
Okay,
Um,
I think that's fair. Yeah.
yeah. So I did still think about it for a bit, but I was like, no, you know what? Like,
Oh yeah, you don't know what he had, so you clearly folded.
I folded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Um,
Phil, hit that send us a text or fan mail button and then just put in what your holding was, please.
yeah.
I need to know.
Unless it was like ace three of diamonds or
Or send
something.
us a message on Discord or Twitter or wherever. Yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
dude, imagine he finds the squeeze with that. Oh.
Yeah. That would be crazy. Anyways, that was like the biggest. Well, believe it or not, this is one of two times I laid down queens pre-flop on day two.
And this
Um,
stuff's important too. It's like you don't not only have to run good, but you have to play good as well. And like finding these spots, yeah.
yeah. So then with maybe 5 tables left, 4 tables left, I think 5 tables left at this point. There's a hand where, I opened sixes at 10K big blind.
Hold that thought again, one more
Oh
moment.
no.
Back at the action, continue.
Yeah, so there was a hand where I opened sixes at 10K BB to 20K. I got 3 callers. The flop came 699, which was very nice.
You had what? What did you say your holding was?
Pocket sixes.
Oh, okay. So pop the boat. Love that.
Yeah. Um, Not super interesting, but I ended up checking, and the guy on my left ended up going bet jam. We obviously called down. The board ran out queen, then a three, and he ended up having queen 10 off. Obviously, like I don't, you know, this is a
Speak
bit
your mind.
ambitious.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, this is ambitious pre-flop from him. We are both like hijack, low jack, or something. Um,
Yeah.
and then betting the flop into 3 people.
It's easy to get caught up though when people like these crushers who are really good are just play such an aggressive style and to like think that you need to do stuff like that and then trying
Mhm.
to actually find those spots versus the correct spots to do that versus when it's not correct.
For sure. And I think if there's a takeaway here, it's when we have the sixes, it's like allow people to start stabbing. When you have a hand that's like this nutted, let people put chips in. He turned a pair of queens, so it's like then he caught up or he
Yeah,
like made a
yeah.
value hand.
And
And
I think it's important to realize that like he could have adjusted his, if he as played once he turns the queen, but with the 10 kicker, like now we have showdown value. We don't need to stuff chips in at this point. We can just try and realize our equity because at this point we're probably only going to get called by hands that are beating us.
yeah, like maybe we go for one
One
more
more
street,
street.
but not
Yeah. Like
two.
the
Like,
turn. Yeah. Like bet the or check the turn and then bet the river, I think would be a great way to play that hand once you
yep,
hit the queen.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, like I don't know that he was thinking about what he was targeting. Like, I'm not gonna call down with ace high. I
Right.
might be tempted with a hand like tens or eight.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not impossible to get value from worse, but
Yeah.
um and then so eventually I thought I was just sun running the whole. I mean, I was kind of sun running, but I was at 1.2 million. And I remember I texted our group at this point. There's a hand where guy on my left had, 470K or something. Guy on my right by the name of Josh Reichert. He
I think
had
I've
like
heard of
eight or
him.
nine. Yeah, right. He opens button and he has like 8 or 900, and it's 6K 12K bigs, so he makes it 25 on the button. I have ace king off in the small blind.
Yep.
I make it 105,
Nice.
and then
4x. Yeah.
and then the big blind just shoves for like 460, 470.
Oh, I love this because he just has the ace queen and ace jack a lot here.
Yeah. Anyways, this is not interesting strategy wise. We end up calling off after Josh folds. We lose a flip to jacks.
Okay. Yep. That
But
is also an option.
I remember realizing like we got 40 blinds in here. I just lost a massive flip on day two, but I still
Remember you
have
texting
60
the group.
bigs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this is so different because like I don't know that I've ever I shouldn't say ever, but normally when you're on a day 2, it's like you are kind of in that range of 15, maybe 40 bigs is a good stack. Like you're kind of in that
Let me ask
range.
you, does that
Yeah.
was that what helped? I mean, not that you needed to have that many big blinds to reset your conscience after that. But like does I guess for people who aren't as experienced and have that ability to kind of regroup quickly,
Mhm.
was do you think I mean that how am I trying to word this? Jesus, my brain. I think having that many blinds is an easy place for you to come back to say that didn't even happen. Don't think about what you had. Think about where you're at, and then that's an easy way to regroup and completely put that bad beat or not bad beat, but that flip that you lost right behind you.
Yeah, and I was just in this like and that's where I think it helps to not come in too high to a day 2 like that or just be like present.
Hmm.
Always that's something I've tried to work on. And honestly, I mean, some of our past guests I think have helped with that, like a guy like Lucky Chewy
Yep.
or Jared Alderman. In fact, on day 1, I was literally listening to a podcast between the 2 of them. Um,
Really?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
and I think just always trying to be present is helpful. And yeah, I sort of was like, okay, this is I'm still a bit above the tournament average. Whatever, like I know how to play, and we're just gonna keep battling. And I did chip up a bit, but then this is one I want your opinion on. At 10-15K, we're in either I think we're in hijack. We opened a 30K with 8-7 of diamonds. We have like 850K, so like super standard.
So, what is that? 50 bigs, right? Just over 50 bigs.
Closer to 60. Yeah,
Yeah.
between 50, 60.
Okay.
Um, the cutoff 3 bets small. Same guy we lost the flip
What
to. So
position
he
you're
had
in and what hand were you in? Did you have?
8-7 of diamonds. We're in hijack.
Okay. Cut off 3 bets.
He only goes to 70K, so he goes to under 5 bigs. And he has like a million. I mean, he's the one who had the
Who is
jacks.
this?
I forgot his name. He ended up getting 6th in the tournament.
What
Um,
is his
he's wearing a similar pair of sunglasses to me. He's
okay.
maybe in his 30s,
Okay. Okay.
Seems like he's like certainly a very competent player.
Okay. Okay.
Didn't strike me as like a
Not overly aggressive, not overly tight, just kind of
yeah.
solid reg. Okay.
Mhm. So we're getting a great we call with a 7-8 of diamonds.
Always, yeah.
We get jack of diamonds, 6 of diamonds with an 8. So middle
Mm.
pair with a flush draw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Check
this
call.
could be well, this is where I'm wondering. So we check and he bets 55. It might have been 40. I think it was only 45.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we call.
Yeah. That
Turn
feels
is
standard to me. We don't want to we don't want to inflate a pot here with how deep we both are.
well, I guess that's the question. Like, and also on the turn here, like
You can
the
deny equity. There is a reason because I mean we can definitely deny equity to the 2 overs.
yeah, we can also we could get value from them maybe too.
Oh, you got a
First,
pair. Yeah. Sorry, not but
yeah,
deny equity plus get value because you have a pair and a flush draw. Right. You can the combo of those. But I feel like it's just one of those hands where we kind of set the flush draw aside and just try and realize or not realize well, yes, realize our equity, but also just try to get the showdown with our 8 as well.
yeah, that's reasonable. That's the route I ended up taking. So the turn is a 10, giving us a gutter too.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if the 9 comes in, we lose to a queen, so it's not like a super strong. If a 9 comes in and we check and face a river bet, it's not great. But
Yeah.
so on the turn, we check and we face 160K, and the pot now is like
It sucks. You just don't feel good here.
250.
And I feel
I
like
didn't.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I feel like if we didn't take the raise route, well, sorry, no, with the turn, remind me the full board.
Jack 8, 6, 10 with 2 diamonds.
I mean, if he's double barreling, I mean, he could be double barreling ace king, ace queen here, but it's probably unlikely. I don't know his, if he's not a blaster, especially. So it's just like, For me, like at this point as played, I'm gonna call and then just fold river to any if I don't improve and face, a bet.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I did. My thought afterwards, and this is because Josh kind of asked me, it's like, do we
Okay.
ever, if we check jam, can we ever get him off an overpair? Um,
Probably.
it's like that's the thing. That's something.
But here's the thing, and so that yes, and Josh is good at that stuff. He's so fearless, right? And the hand you played against him will detail that.
Yeah.
But again, as I'd mentioned earlier, and I don't want to go against what Josh thinks because he's correct. We can definitely, I mean, overpair should be folding here.
Mhm.
The issue with that is it is slightly a draw heavy board. So if he does find the call, we just hate it, although we can still get there. But secondly, it's like this is such a soft field that we can just still find so many better spots.
Yeah, that's kind of what I landed on in the moment. I maybe in the back of my head was thinking about raising, but I was like,
Yeah.
let's just call and improve, hopefully.
I
And
don't think it's a terrible thing to do, but again, we're so deep, like we can, yeah, 100 and something's, yeah, it's a big pot, obviously.
mhm. um, yeah. So then we call the 160K bet on the turn, and we get the jack pairs on the river, jack of spades or
Oh.
something. We check. He snap checks back with pocket kings, and
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
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 So this one was a little deflating because now now I'm in the
How,
500s.
dude, let me ask you then.
Yeah.
How how sick to do a bluff lead on this river? Because you
I
have
know.
so many jacks. Because I understand
That's
you have an eight, but he
yeah.
shouldn't. Here's the thing: is he shouldn't be betting ace king and ace queen on the turn as a double barrel, in my opinion. Some people will find that I understand that, but I doubt it. So at this point, you have so many more jacks than he does, unless he has like specifically like ace jack.
Mhm.
That maybe you could turn in an eight here into a bluff, even though it's like counterintuitive because you have showdown value. Um, just somehow like how much is in the pot after the turn call? Two,
I mean, it's 500 some thousand, like
and you have it's at
570
one
maybe.
SPR or something.
Yeah, just about.
Fuck, dude, this would be a
I
sick launch, dude.
I know.
I almost honestly, I almost like doing that more than Josh's thought. But anyways,
Yeah. It's tricky too because if let's say I had ace jack, I might, and this is, we're talking a live tournament here online. It might be different, but I might lead out for something like 240,
yeah.
you
So
know?
you can withstand, yeah, yeah. Because if you get called, yeah, I think that's going to be doing the same as long as just sending it.
Yeah, but if I'm bluffing, am I more tempted to just stuff it in? Like, I know that's exploitable, but
With the SPR as it is, I don't think it is. It's like just like if he has an overpair, he's going to call sometimes, like hopefully because it's the field is soft, but obviously he's not a soft player, it sounds like. I don't know. I really don't know, but
right, I guess I'm saying like, is my hmm, yeah,
I would like to see like something maybe a little bit north of that just to kind of, but not quite all in, like 350.
yeah,
Leave yourself like 200 behind or something like that.
for sure, yeah. Ultimately, I decided to check because I'm like, well, there is a world where he has ace king of diamonds, or just ace king king queen, and is like just barreling.
Yeah.
I'm expecting to
Like I said, it's
use
possible for those hands to be in there.
yeah. And I don't wanna rely, I don't wanna put my tournament life on relying on someone to fold an overpair.
My preferred
Um,
route is the way you played it personally.
yeah. Well, thank you. So anyways, at this point, for the first time in forever, I was below chip average. Maybe not right now, but, like, once a few more people, like, once we got to 3 tables left, which was soon after this, um, I had, a little over 500 at the 15K and then soon after the 20K level. So then we were in a spot where it was like, I'm a bit back in the pack and I'm playing the 20 to 30 big poker. And I did just have to sort of adjust my mind a little bit and be like,
Hmm.
okay, this is where we're at. And the one hand I'll share from 3 tables left is I opened Queen Jack offsuit, under the gun +1, 8-handed, so kind of middle position. Um, the let's see, cutoff calls and the big blind calls.
I saw a little loading bar going across your forehead
Yep,
when you were thinking there.
there's a loading bar there. The flop came Jack 10-3
Okay.
with 2 clubs. I had
Okay.
Queen Jack with no
Yep.
club. Check to me. I decided to check here for a couple reasons. One is I don't, I was the shortest stack here. I maybe had 25 bigs. I don't necessarily want to get it all in here,
hmm
but we could maybe induce something from cutoff, or even on the turn, like big blind might stab. And I think this is a 1 to 2 street hand, depending on the run out. I think ace jack, I would think about a little differently, but I think the flats by the cutoff, he can have, some king jack, some ace jack, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
It's counterintuitive a little bit, but I like it.
yeah.
I'm just
And
saying,
also,
just check it. Because wait, what were the positions in the hand? Just to make sure I'm understanding this correctly.
the cutoff and big blind called me. I was in middle position.
Okay, so you do have someone behind you.
Mhm.
Yeah. If it was versus obviously just big blind bet with cutoff
Yes.
behind you. Yeah. Okay,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah. And also, I think like I'll be doing this with ace, king, ace, queen, right? Or just all the ace highs.
Yep.
And so, yeah, good to be balanced in these spots.
For
But
sure.
it checks around. And the turn is something like a 5. There's a 4 or a 5,
Pretty banana-y.
It was one of the bananas for sure. The big blind decides to lead. So I opened a 40K at 20K BB.
Mm-hmm.
Big blind decides to lead for I think 65K into a pot of what would be 150. And, I call.
Mm-hmm.
And cutoff calls as well,
Oh.
which is interesting.
Yeah.
So the pot is now like 340-ish, 345,
Yep.
335.
And you're yelling deuce in your head.
Yeah.
Or no, you're yelling Jack.
Yeah. Also just no club. Actually,
Yeah.
I remember in my head, I was like, don't put a club out there.
Yeah.
The river was not a club, but it was a 9. It was the 9 of spades. So it does bring in like king, queen, queen 8.
I guess, yeah, you're not really yelling for deuce or jack. Like you're yelling, yeah, because like you could still be behind.
I actually had 3, like pair the bottom card.
Yeah.
That would be exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
So anyways, pot is, like I said, about 340 now. Big blind now bets 85K, which is at this point, if I call and lose, it's a decent portion of my stack.
Yeah, but the price is right.
Oh, the price is great. I'm like, so I end up calling and I'm hoping for 2 things. I'm like hoping the cutoff doesn't raise.
Yeah, but also maybe calls. I don't even know if we want the cutoff to call.
I think as long as he doesn't snap call.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he also checked back flops. So I'm not too worried about ace jack, king jack. Like,
oh yeah.
If it was like maybe he has 10-9 suited, right? That's jack 9 suited, 10-9 suited, but he ends up sort of side folding, and the big blind actually has 10 deuce offsuit for just second pair.
Okay.
Which was not what I expected, but I was thrilled.
That's
right?
fair. Yeah, I would not have expected that either.
Yeah. So we get down to 2 tables, and so I had chipped up a bit, but I'm, still hovering between average to below average. At this point, I'm at the table with Josh again, and he is just I mean, dude, one of the first hands at that table, John Hanner, 4-bet jams on him, blind versus blind, for $1 million in chips. At what I think was the big blind was either 25 or 30K. So they get in a bunch. Like $1 million was already like,
oh god, these 2 guys stack. Like I'm excited to hear these 2 hands.
Well, it made sense. So Hanner had queens and Josh had 9s.
Okay,
and
I don't think they're either blasters, but they're both very aggressive.
They are, and Hanner just says, "Give him a 9," and there's a 9 right on the flop.
Oh no, dude! Nines were the hand that tournament.
They were. And he said, so I don't know if you know the story, but last weekend at the final table, which Hanner got 4th at,
yeah,
there's a hand where One player went all in with it was like pocket fives or threes. Aaron Johnson like rejam. I don't know. They got a three-way all in. Hanner had ace king. Aaron had king queen suited, and the other player had a small pocket pair. And Hanner calls for a queen. He and Aaron flop a king, and he's poised for the double knockout. And then Aaron rivers the queen.
Yo, come
So
on, John. Quit calling for these damn
this is the
cards.
second. I mean, this is the second week in a row where he's just called.
Hey, you know what though? Variance, as I say, oftentimes, like he's gonna do it a third time's a charm. He's got to call for it, and it's not coming next time.
That's what I was saying. Like I almost just
he's screwed if he doesn't call for it next time. At this point, you got to now call for it the third time. If you call for the first two, you got to call for it the third time, John.
Absolutely. I mean, the nihilism that he just something funny. I mean,
John doesn't have a title yet, does he?
I don't know if he does.
I know he's got a lot of like third, fourth places. I think he might have a title. I don't remember, but like when I won mine, I think he got third in that one as well. I've seen him at a lot of MSPT final tables. I'm not sure if he's actually scooped one yet.
For sure. Anyway, so that was sort of a funny story, but also like Josh is just he's every time he's opening too, he'll just show aces, he'll show jacks. Like he's just getting smacked in the face with the deck at this point. I was lucky enough to put a little cooler on him and get a little value, but that was like for maybe 5% of his chips.
Oh wow.
The only kind of tricky spot here. Oh no, there were two, man. So actually, there's another funny story.
Okay.
We went on dinner break with maybe 12 left, and me and Nick Barksdale, who's
3-time MSPT champ.
Yeah, we were hanging out on dinner
in like the last 2 years, by the way.
Yeah. We thought it restarted at 6. We go back in, and we were like 3 minutes late.
Oh, okay.
I didn't miss any blinds, luckily, but that was a little rattling. And then they had colored up some of my chips, and I was 99% sure I had 940 or 945K on break.
Okay.
I had 890K in front of me.
Oh, that's a significant difference. Pretty significant, yeah.
But there was kind of nothing they could do at that point.
Take a photo always.
That's exactly. Then Josh tells me, he's like, I had that happen to me once at WPT something. And I was like, did you win the tournament? He was like, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So he was kind of like, anyways, it was a weird spot. So then there was a hand where under the gun, we were 5 or 6 handed at this point. I think 6 opens at 30K to 60K. I have 900K. I make it 155 with queens directly to his left. Folds back to him, and he makes it 300K.
Okay.
And I tank folded. Queens again. And
so I've got the title of this episode down. It's Run Pier and Fold Queens Pre.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do we have any information as to what he was holding? Probably not.
No. I might be able to find out. But my thought is like, if he has, I kind of ruled out jacks and ace king off at this point. And I mean, I don't know. We could talk about it forever. Like he could have certainly bluffed me, but I think his value is only aces and kings here. And I think almost every live player is under bluffing / almost never bluffing.
And and also on top of that, it's important to just kind of stay on the topic of like, there's better spots. Don't be and you got to be kind of walk that line carefully, because it's like, you don't just want to pass up good spots just because there's better spots. Right.
Of course.
But it's definitely something to consider.
It is. And then the last spot I'll talk about before the final table is the same player open button to 100K at 40K BB, and I'm in the small blind. Ku Vang in the big blind with like 12 bigs.
Yep.
I
Also,
have
always
queen.
at the final table.
Yeah, right. And then I was in the small blind with I had about 700, a little over 700K, so maybe 18 blinds. Queen nine of hearts here. What's your thought?
Um, what position were you? Sorry, I was thinking about coup at the final table. I know I've done this like 3 times this episode. I'm sorry, guys.
Small blind versus button. We have 18 bigs. We're at 12 players left, I think. Maybe
You're in
11.
the small
Oh,
blind with
no. I think we're at 10 left. I
okay.
think we're
So you're on the final table bubble, small blind, queen nine suited with 18 bigs.
Mhm.
Guys, again, I'm sorry for those listeners for me being an idiot. Okay. Okay. Now
He's a little distracted.
I am.
It's
I just
okay.
got a call actually right at that moment as well. Speaking of call, I call.
Okay.
Oh, wait, well, I didn't get enough information. What's the big blind hat? Who is the big
He
blind? What's the
he has
stack?
maybe 1.5 million. He had us covered by a decent amount. He did go 2.5x.
You called?
He seems like he's not like he's certainly a competent thinking player. I don't
He's
know
in the
if he's
big
like
blind. Am I understanding this correctly?
button.
Oh, the button opened. Okay. I see when I was clarifying, I thought all right, guys. Well,
Oh boy.
welcome back to the Suited Kings podcast. We're gonna start this whole thing over. I'm just kidding. I'm so distracted. Yes. Queen nine suited. So I thought it folded to you in the small blind. That's why I said call. Um, I think honestly, at this spot, I'm folding.
It did cross my mind. And maybe it's the right play. I actually decided to rip it.
Okay.
Um, my thought is he should probably be opening.
Yeah, he's folding a lot. It's not
He's folding
terrible.
a lot. We have one of those hands that the cards are like low enough where even if I get called, I might be live. Like I could get. I'm in okay shape against an ace king or an eights or sevens. Like obviously, it's a disaster if I get called here.
Yeah, I was gonna say justifying what you're okay.
But I do think in these ICM spots, what you notice is if people are now this is an if people are playing correct or close to correctly, you should be able to reapply pressure on the bigger stacks.
I agree. And you know what? You will see the best players do stuff like this. You can't be really fearful in these positions if you want to try and win. And if you do get called, you still can win.
Still get lucky, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually don't know 100% if it's
I would not have
correctly.
loved folding. I would have hated
Yeah.
it. I love that hand, especially versus a button open range. But that spot, it's just like this is when we really need to be playing our absolute best poker.
Mm-hmm.
This is when shit matters. And finding the right decision is just so much more important at this spot because it's harder to get to this spot than obviously. So
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate fold or jam personally.
Yeah, I would understand either. Koo actually took a long time in the big blind. He almost called it off. Luckily, he folded and button snap folded. I don't know. I won another small pot or two before the final table, but we got there with about 1.4 million at
Nice.
60K big blind.
Making an MSPT final table just feels so good. I love it because I always call my dad when I make an MSPT final table and like, Dad, I'm at another MSPT final table, and he's always just so hyped. And I think that's like one of my favorite things to look forward to when making it. It's like even more so than the piles of cash I could win is just like, that support and like that call out to Dad. Just like, yeah,
Awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I agree. Where it's like both my family and friends are like, I might post the picture on Snapchat or just people following the tournament. Like I'll get all these good luck texts or Discord. People are updating in Discord.
And what's funny is I intentionally didn't send you any messages to you
Really?
to you specifically because the only thing it's funny because I sent you a text that morning and I said today is the day, easy win, and that's it. And I was leaving, and I was like, I'm not going to jinx that. I'm just going to leave it at that.
For sure. Yeah. And boy, was it ever the day. So okay. There were there's a lot of stuff we could get into at the final table. I think for the sake of time, we'll do the two highlight hands that both had some element of, it could go a few different ways with it, right? So we have 1.5, 1.6 million. We have like 26 blinds at the 60K level. There's still 9 players left. We look down at black aces
Okay.
in under the gun +1, open to 120. The hijack is looking interested, and then he makes it 290. This is actually the guy we lost 2 big ones to earlier in the day.
Okay.
Folds back to us,
You're
and he has,
drooling.
maybe 2.5 million, close to 3. What are we thinking? He 3 bets to a little under 5 bigs.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like, and man, these spots are interesting. Again, these are spots where you got to be very careful and play them as because four betting here is just so extremely strong. I
Yeah.
almost like and how many blinds total are you guys deep?
I had about 26.
Oh, you had 26. I love kind of just flatting this spot and under repping and just kind of trying to play it that way, even though it's like it sucks because like you will occasionally regret this by getting, by losing and then, coming out short with cash, obviously. But you can't be afraid of that with our stack depth here. I really like under repping aces here because four betting first off at this point in the tournament is extremely strong and he's just going to fold so much of his range.
Yeah, and my consideration was like, okay, I actually think the technical play here might be to 4-bet click it, but that just looks so strong, and so few people do that as a
That's
bluff.
that's
Like,
what I mean. In
yeah,
when you're online in an ACR bird in this spot, do that. But when you're in an MSPT at this spot, we have to adjust.
yeah,
100%. Four bets are just way too strong. So I'm just gonna call here.
yeah. So what I did instead, because this guy had been quiet at the final table, and then he like woke up.
Oh, you
He
launch
looked
it?
interested. I took a long time, and I wasn't really Hollywooding because I genuinely considered all 3
Yeah,
options
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Fold.
By that
You
I
folded.
mean call, jam, or raise small. I
Oh,
don't mean
no.
call, jam, or fold, right? Yeah, we folded to stay balanced. No, so I actually jammed it. I thought, like, it felt like he was just strong. It came down to that. I felt like he was strong,
It's important
and
too to pay attention to. If you felt like he's been quiet and kind of something lit up, like he's got a hand that seems like he's probably not going to fold here, then let's just go
yeah.
for it.
So I actually think he made a mistake because he ended up sort of sighing and flicking in the call with ace queen offsuit,
Oh, wow. Oh, I
which I
saw
think,
this on the. Okay, I did see this.
yeah.
Yeah,
And he's drawing dead on the turn, like we get a
I
super
would
nice
love
run
that.
out.
Yeah.
Um, I just think he can't call this off. Like,
I 100% agree. I mean, if we're not, I mean, this is kind of similar to that spot earlier with Angela, where like we're not going to be calling off the 30 bigs from Angela
mhm.
with ace queen
With
off.
that ace queen,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
So in this spot, like we're with ICM pressures, like we're definitely not calling off with ace queen. You're
right.
just you're not doing. I mean, you're not doing this with ace jack. You specifically, maybe some blasters, but he's just praying that he's flipping against you.
Yeah, and maybe the fact that I tanked so long made him think he was a lot of the time, but
Yeah, and I don't know who this is, but to give them maybe a little peace of mind, it's hard to make these decisions in these moments.
yeah. Oh,
Especially if you
yeah.
have, I don't know if he's been there a ton, but like, especially if it's like a first or second time, like it's even harder. You know what I mean? It's easy to
Mhm.
level yourself. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so that was a really nice spot for me. And then the other big one, as I think a lot of people know, is so at this point there were 8 players left, and I was actually the chip leader now. But Josh was a close second. And
oh, I thought he had you covered. Oh, that's right, because you knocked him out here. Duh.
yeah. So
Spoiler alert.
yeah, we had so the effective stack here would have been he had a little under 4 million at the 100K level. So I have pocket nines in middle position, open to 200. He's in the 3 seat, I'm in the 9 seat. So he's probably hijack cutoff. Anyways, he 3 bets to 520, 5.2 bigs, and I feel like these spots you don't want to do a ton of flatting to 3 bets, but I think we're deep enough and we can get enough visibility with this sort of hand. like on whether or not we want to go with it post
Yeah,
flop, right?
yeah. And also it's against opponent who is going to be wider than others.
Yeah, and like I think we have the implied odds where he will barrel off way more often.
And the implied equity of if you smash a set.
Exactly. That's essentially what we're trying to do here. Because also on the flip side, if he's going to triple barrel it off a lot, I'm going to end up having to fold this more
Oh,
often than
yeah,
usual
for
too.
sure.
So there's both sides
I've
to
thought
it.
about this hand, especially by the time we get to the river. There's hands you're going to be folding here that you'd call two streets with. So
Yeah. And so we have the nine of hearts, nine of spades. Flop is queen, three, deuce, queen of hearts. They're two hearts, one diamond, and it was the queen of hearts. Because I mean, neither one of us is going to have a deuce or a three,
yeah,
right?
we're keeping him honest here and calling one. What sizing did you go with again?
So he went like 310 or 320 on the flop.
Into
325 maybe. So the pot would have been 1040, 12, 1.29
so a quarter.
million.
He went quarter
He
pot.
goes quarter. Yeah, he goes like exactly quarter. We call with nines, and then the turn is just the nine of diamonds. I mean, like
what a banana. I'm sorry, it's not an actual. It's not a banana turn. It gave you a banana, if you know what I'm saying. If you get
yeah. Well, he was sitting on the other side of the table. Luckily,
I'm turning into a dad here. Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay, continue.
He did continue. So we check now. One thing to keep in mind here is this is a double flush draw board. Like suddenly, like he'll have a decent amount of straight draws. But yeah, double flush draw. So we check and he bets 910 here. And there's some temptation to jam here against some players.
Yeah, because there's two flush draws and a straight draw and some straight draws present. I feel like intuitively it's like there's enough money in this pot. Let's finish it. Let's just take it down here. We got the best hand almost always. So, I understand. But now let's take into consideration who our opponent is.
Exactly. And like we have to. I did think about this for a long time too, because I was like, but I realized the part of me that wanted to jam, it was like my nerves, you know?
Yeah, for
it
sure.
wasn't my brain. My brain told me to call, and I was like, okay, we're gonna call, and then whatever draw comes in on the river, he's probably gonna jam, and we're gonna check call. No, I didn't assess.
You already assessed. Gotcha. Yeah. I like that, and I like that you recognized at that moment your plan on the street ahead of you, no matter what, and so that you recognize also that you're making a play based on what was correct and not what your nerve said to do.
Yeah. And yeah, like we're just going to, we understand that there are going to be some times where he gets there on the river with something.
And you're going to be okay with that.
And we're going to be down to a few big blinds. We're going to feel like puking, and we'll just find a way to live with it.
Yeah.
So the river is
But on the other side of that, you're going to then also keep in all of the hands where you just win all of the money.
Yeah. And so the river's the seven of diamonds. So backdoor diamonds do come in. We check, and he jams for 1.9, and I snap call it off.
Yeah.
And he says you're good. He rolls over ace of diamonds, jack of spades.
So he had the nut blocker as well.
He had the nut blocker. Now here's actually one thing I did realize too, even in the moment. I know on the river, I don't really think we're beating value. Like maybe he's jamming aces with a diamond, but he's never going to have a lower set that plays this way. I don't think there's any combos of two pair he ever has.
I agree. I know. And that's why 100% agree. And that's why taking into consideration our opponent on the turn is so important. Cause like they are willing to, with all of the bluffs, go, So that expands his his range on the river a lot, like the ace jack O's and things like that, which a lot of opponents wouldn't find. And that's why he's so dangerous. You know what I mean?
He is. And that's also, I also was like, I have an opportunity to get this guy out of the tournament.
That's another big factor. It's like he's 100% your biggest threat, and he's got a stack that's essentially the same as yours. So Yeah, well played. Nice hand, nice turn, all of the above. It's a combination of both, and that's what's beautiful about poker. It's like people say it's just luck. It's like no, it's a mixture of luck and skill on top of luck. Like how we can extract the most value or lose the least with the luck that we're handed to us, and that's what's going to separate us from the people.
Hmm. So yeah, absolutely. And like now soon after Koo busted in seventh, he was super short the whole time, but
Yeah,
he played
another
well.
scary opponent. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, luckily he just never had the chips.
yeah,
Um, and then someone went out in six, and we were five-handed for quite a while. I finally got unlucky. Mike Wilco jammed ace four suited. I had fives
yep.
in the big blind. He spiked an ace.
He's
Um,
up to 3 mil. You're down to 5 or 4 mil, right? Is that what I read? That's what I read in
oh,
the
I
report.
I got up to 9.5. Like I was down to eight again, and I
Mm-hmm.
hovered. The lowest I got was in the 6.5 range.
Mm-hmm.
But we played five-handed for over a level, and then we had a break. And then after break, a couple people said, we could chop it up, and everyone seemed sort of agreed to it. And I was like, let's play.
Yep.
I folded for three orbits, was getting dust, and then I won one hand, a small pot. But, and then, I will say, like, this is where I don't know what the play is, right? It's sort of just up to you personally. But I was like, this is where emotion kicked in a bit, right? And I was like thinking, okay, if we were to just ICM chop this up, what would that mean for me? Like the average payout at the time,
Is that like 25K or something?
well, not the
30K?
average, but
No,
the
I meant the payout at that
yeah.
point.
So fifth place was 30K. It
Mm-hmm.
was 30K, 40K, 54, 74, I think, and then 121.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, so I will get over if we just ended it now, I would get better than second place money for my stack. At this point, there were plenty of like most people had it where if I were to double someone up, depending on who it was, like we would basically flip stacks. Like I didn't have a runaway chip lead.
Yeah.
I did cool off with my cards. And I'm like, man, I could get the trophy. Like I've had, as you know, we call third place West place, but I've gotten seconds and fourths too. And I'm like, I have had a lot of these runs where it's not like chops have been brought up, but where I've decided not to bring it up because I'm like, no, I feel good about it. I want to keep playing. And
That's how
something's
I've lost so much money by doing that.
right. I mean, I hear you there.
Probably 6 figures worth of money I've lost from not chopping MSPTs 3 or 4 handed.
Yeah. Um, and so I don't know. Like I will say there was some logic too where I actually had a neurology appointment Monday morning in Minnesota. So I'm like, there is a downside to me playing an extra 2 hours here.
Yeah.
Um, but to be just totally transparent about it, there was an emotional side of it too, where I was like, if I end up getting like fourth, fifth, or heck, even third, maybe even second place, I that would feel like, at least in the moment, like
You're like the
such a
robot
huge let.
version of Pinocchio. I'm a real boy. You got emotions and like not just straight robotic. I love it.
Yeah, but and I'm like, and there was something where I was just once I was in that moment where people had brought it up, I'm like, oh god, there's sort of a difference between, like, I'm not one to want to chop at the final table of something small, but like
Yeah.
there is something about if I go home and I'm not without the trophy and I was just given an opportunity to have it with money that's still amazing, by the way, like over second place,
Yeah. Yeah.
that would kind of sting, and it's not the end of the world, but I did really, really want that trophy. And so after a few orbits, I was like, hey guys, like, do you want to look at the numbers? You guys still
Yeah.
down? And they're kind of like, yeah, let's do it. And so
Especially, and fuck the haters. There, I said it. You know what I mean? Like, honestly,
yeah,
go ahead and put yourself in that spot. And, it's like, I understand, Wes, and everybody else will too. And a lot of people who don't understand are people who've not been in that position.
totally. And I think it's different at something like a bracelet event. You aren't allowed to organize a chop.
Hmm.
So that's just I actually kind of prefer that in a way because then it doesn't enter into your psyche. But like
And can I add another point that's super important for you
Mhm.
specifically? This is your livelihood. This is your job.
It
This is
is.
how you pay your rent. This is how you pay your overly large insurance payments. I've been dealing with insurance a lot lately, so
Yeah. Luckily, I'm still young enough where they're not that bad yet. But you're right. You're right. Where like
well, you've been, you got that damn concussion, all these neurology
I
appointments.
do have a couple $1,000s in neurology pay.
But my point is, it's like
Yeah.
this is your livelihood, and if you know what, if taking over eliminating all variants, getting over second place money with five left is a smart decision for your life.
I agree, and that's a good point too, is even if we take out that trophy component, like, the v getting to these spots where as the big stack, I have, what, 40 some bigs, and it's like where there's over a 90K difference between 5th and 1st, and, like, that could 90K could come down to a couple 60/40s or whatever, like, of course, as poker players, we're more comfortable with variance than the average person, but, like, that is more variance than I should be taking on.
I'm curious the
Obviously, like
actual percentage you're with the chip stack, your actual percentage chance of winning that tournament. If we could say that number out loud right now, I don't know what it is, but like if we were to say that tournament,
yeah.
it's probably like sub 30%, right?
I don't know, like, I think it's clearly over 20 because there are
Yeah.
5 left,
Yeah. Maybe it's definitely under 45.
Right, it's I would guess it's somewhere in the 30s,
Yeah. Yeah.
and now there is the other component of, like, well, if someone else busts out and takes out 5th place, now if we make a 4 or a 3-handed
There's
ICM
the money.
deal,
Yeah.
it's a better deal, but, like, there's no guarantee the short stack's gonna be the one to bust,
For
and,
sure. Yeah.
so anyways, yeah, everyone else was down, and I'm like, "Cool, let's just straight ICM chop it up." That's what we did, the 4 of the like, I think 5th place got 2 of them got in the 50Ks, 2 of them got in the 60Ks. I did have a good at least a decent chip lead. I got, like, 83, 84K,
Yeah.
which is awesome. It's a huge score. It really is a huge score. And I will say I did not this did not even register, but someone, a friend, a listener, Joe, who he actually got 11th or 12th place, but he was sweating the final table and he came up to me afterwards and congratulated me and he said, "So you get that $3,500 seat, right?" And I'm
Uh,
like,
I didn't even
"Oh my
realize that
god."
was a thing. Yeah, I saw it
I
afterwards.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh my god." That didn't even factor in, but I'm like,
Yeah.
so I get
So
the trophy, I get to take the picture, and I get free rolled into a bullet of the $3,500 championship.
mhm.
It's, you know, November, December of this year. So that's like another huge piece too.
Yeah.
So,
So I just want to end it on this, Wes, and I say this with all the love from my heart. And you know me saying that is what's
I'm
coming
bracing
next.
myself.
You could be on my level once you win one without a chop.
There we go. That's what you know,
Bro, you know what? Just say this to me. Just say, look at my Hendon, bro. And I will be crying because you have quickly surpassed me. You're right under
okay.
a million now, I think, or something, or at a million. Um,
Oh, that's actually another fun note. I came into the tournament at 990.
oh,
So
so you cracked the millie.
I did. If I got to the final table, ninth place was a little over 10K. That's what I needed to crack the millie. So that
That's an
when,
awesome
when I,
milestone, man. That's such a sick
yeah,
milestone. And not many people like you will see. It's funny. You go to WSOP, you'll see people like all the time, $1 million like in earnings, da, da, da. But it's really farther and fewer between than you think. And to crack that milestone is absolutely incredible. So congrats on that, man.
thank you. I appreciate it. And as people know, it's not like I'm doing it by playing 5Ks like I have I have one small cash and a 3K, and then everything else is like a few 17. My only big scores are in 1100s and below,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So like I I'll share this. Like the amount I have in buy-ins is in the 400,000. So it's like I sure, I've played a lot of volume, but like that's I've done it with a good ROI. Like I know Hendon doesn't necessarily tell you that much about your
Right.
like, but for me, I'm like, I think I earned it because it's like, and not that anyone hasn't earned it, of course, but like, um, yeah, it definitely means something to me. And I think it's cool. You know, I got my first like major first place finish and it put me over 1 million. It was, yeah, it was pretty special. And by the way, Riverside is where, when I got third place that first time, it
Yeah.
propelled me to quit my job.
Mhm.
And so it felt kind of just poetic in a way that it all kind of came to fruition there.
I'm
And
fucking
so
dude. I fell asleep knowing that I would have to change a diaper in a couple hours. So wake up and get the news then, and to see your photo there, dude. Hell yeah! Like it's just like there's no one else, man. I just wanted to see you win it so bad, and
I really appreciate that.
for sure, man.
And the
Congratulations.
sunglasses I was wearing, it's
Yeah,
the first time I've worn that pair during a tournament, so I'm gonna be wearing them from now
forever.
on.
Yes, sir. I'll All right. Well, any last thoughts on that before we wrap this up here?
No, I mean, there are other strategy, some ICM stuff that maybe we could dive into in an ICM related, but no, I mean that wraps it up in terms of that. We should congratulate Boss Hog Al Baker on
Oh,
his
we can't forget about Al Baker. Yes, on
yeah,
the meetup game champion.
yeah.
I mean, that dude has fought from the very first one, I think.
He's gotten a lot of second places and he did ICM chop it heads up, but you know, we count those. He did have he got first place. He is the meetup game champion now. By the way, the guy who got second fired 6 bullets, so he made
But
like
Bob. I don't know if
yeah,
that's a listener or not, but I will tell you what, that dude was firing away.
yeah.
He was
To be fair,
blasting.
I was too. I mean, I busted 5 bullets and
Yeah.
I barely
I only had
lasted.
one. I got all the way through late reg on one bullet. You should be proud of me.
I am proud of you.
And then I ran in seven
And
bigs with ace queen into aces. I'm like, oh, come on.
that's annoying. But
Yeah.
yeah, another good meetup game. Join Clubs Poker using the link in the description if you haven't done so yet. Join our Discord.
Yep.
We've actually had a nice uptick of members, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like we've had a few dozen people addition. We're you know, in the upper 300s in terms of members, but yeah, always some really good discussion in there. Buy houses from Max
We love that. Or sell them.
or sell them.
Yeah. Wes plays professionally, and I sell houses professionally. So holler at me if you want to talk real estate. I'll definitely help you get the best investment. So, and then let me go ahead and wrap this up here for you. Don't forget to purchase some Suited Kings merch from our friends over at Tilted Compass. You can find them on their website, tilted-compass.com. And then there's a little tab there where you can see collaboration. Suited King merch, there's a ton of good shit on there. And actually, if you just reach out to us, we can get you kind of whatever kind of color mixture you want. As we talk with them. They got other stuff we can make custom. So make sure to check that out. You know what? I'm already forgetting. We talked Discord already. All the good stuff. Make sure every other Tuesday is our meetup game. Wes mentioned that. Yeah, I think again, just a reminder: the Patreon content updating is currently on hold, but you can check out all 60 plus videos on there at like $15 a month and cancel when you're through with them. All of that support is much appreciated by us. Wes, congratulations, my friend. Congratulations to Boss Hog more than anybody, though.
Yeah,
I love to
right.
see that. So,
We do love to see that.
yeah,
Um,
guys, go ahead and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Oh, I feel like a content creator now. Check out our YouTube.
you know, we've been at it for 2.5 years now.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Appreciate you guys so much. And stay tuned for within the next few weeks here for the start of our WSOP prep series. We're going to have a bunch of awesome guests on for that. Get you suited up, ready for a bracelet W at the WSOP. Did I say that correctly? You're going to win a bracelet. Oh, did I? Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, a bracelet W at the WSOP.
Yeah, there you go. That was weird. It like jumbled in my head. But
No,
anyways,
you nailed it.
Let's go. We'll see you guys next week with another episode of the Suited Kings podcast.